and welcome to the episode 4 of our Pseudo Feminism Overshadowed Feminism. I'm your host Prashansha from Canon Sphere, and today we have Devanshi with us. She's currently a fourth-year law student at Indore Institute of Law. She has been mentoring students, creating content to navigate them through their law school journey and helping them become financially independent. She also holds the position of Vice President at the National Judicial Reform Council. Welcome, ma'am. We are delighted to have you. For
Thank you
ages,
so much.
most welcome, ma'am. For ages, there has always been a squabble regarding the concept of feminism and its umpteen implications. So, to understand it profoundly, Devanshi will be sharing her insights. So, to begin with the episode, ma'am, what, according to you, is the definition of pseudo feminism and how does it differ from genuine feminism?
I think that's an interesting question to start with. First of all, let us understand the genesis or say the background of where this concept of feminism actually came into picture. So, in the ancient times, women were always a part of the underprivileged section of the society, and they were not given equal rights as that of the men, and there were a lot of misogynistic thoughts that were prevailing into the society. And that's where the concept of feminism came to strengthen women and make them at par with that of men. But now, with the changing time and with the changing generations, we see the concept of pseudo feminism coming into picture. So I would firstly explain what this concept actually means. So pseudo feminism basically refers to beliefs or say actions, ideologies, thoughts that superficially claim that they're supporting the feminist principles, but they lack a genuine commitment of to advancing the gender equality or say the women rights. And this is not only happening in India, it's across globe. And today everybody wants to make an opinion, but that opinion is not an informed opinion.
Moving on, can you share some insights into the contributions and impact of Gita Singh in the realm of feminism?
Talking about Geeta Sen, first of all, introducing her is really important. So, she is an esteemed feminist scholar and activist and has made significant contributions in the realm of feminism in India. She is consistently raising awareness and advocating for policies that empower women, have been influential in shaping the public discourse, as they say.
Could you please describe more on the unique challenges basically and opportunities that feminists in different states or regions of your country in that area face in the advocacy for gender equality?
Okay. So, certainly, India is a diverse country with various states and regions, and each state and region has its own social, cultural, and economic dynamics. And feminists across different states or say regions encounter distinct challenges and opportunities in their advocacy for gender equality due to their diverse context, as they say. Now, when we talk about, patriarchy in general. So each region in India has a different set of thoughts in that regard. So, for example, you talk about the southern region of India. Therein, you find more of informed people, more of educated people. So, therein, the concept of patriarchy is not as common as it is into the northern belt of the country. So, I think that is one problem. Then there are some policy variations, as they say, because as we know that each state is, we have a central policy, we have center who's making policies and who's governing everything, but then we have different states, and each state has its own way of tackling problems. Then you also see that there are economic disparities, and this play a very significant role into defining feminism. Why? Because today we see that people who are belonging to privileged section, when I say privileged, that means privileged in terms of employment, education, they have a different narrative towards feminism. But we still have that sect of women into our country who are not able to manage or say have a basic say into their family. They're just being treated as maids into their house, and patriarchy is very deeply embedded into our country. And into the urban sector, tackling the problem is altogether a different narrative. But when you talk about the rural sector, the situation is worse than we can imagine.
And as you mentioned about the northern belt area, so what, according to you, can be the solution to treat that specific problem over there?
Okay, so whenever you plan about implementing any sort of policy, you cannot go with a straight jacket formula. It is very important for the governments to come together to call the stakeholders and hold conversations in this regard on how they can first of all understand the demographics of the area that they are targeting. That's point number one. Point number two is there are various non-governmental organizations and NPOs that are functioning, so engaging in conversations with them, running awareness camps, and building a trend or say running meaningful campaigns altogether will help solve this problem, because everything starts with the one problem that people are uneducated into the rural area. If we see that there are a lot of educated people, then I think such problems will not occur as often. Now, taking example that today, when we talk about concept of pseudo feminism, a narrative of a law student would be different from that of any other student. Why? Because we are understanding the law, we are understanding what the law says, and we are reading text in that regard, so our opinions are more informed.
And like pseudo feminism is often criticized, right, for its performative nature and regarding that. So can you please share insights on performative feminist actions and how they can be misleading or detrimental to the realist feminist progress actually?
Okay. So, first of all, let us understand what performative feminism actually is. So, it basically refers to actions or say such behaviors which outwardly appear or say prima facie appear that they're supporting the feminist ideals or gender equality, but they lack a genuine commitment to say substantive efforts towards achieving the real progress. So today we see that our generation is, running after trends. It is running after tokenism or say symbolism. So there are a lot of things. There is a lot of posting that is happening onto social media just to showcase that you are actually really worried about this problem in general and you want to contribute something. But actually this is just a false narrative that people are trying to create, because point number one, they're not informed, and secondly, a trend is a trend, right? It will come and it will go. And you see that today companies and brands are also on social media being very active, and they are creating, the capitalizing feminism as a concept to fetch profits. So I think these things are something that we need to stop as a generation, because with this, when we are a lot more engaged into these activities, then I think we are deviating from what the actual problem is.
And relating to that only, the media and the pop culture, right? It often plays an important role in like perpetuating the pseudo feminist narratives. So, how can we critically analyze media portrayals and their impact on shaping the pseudo feminist ideologies?
Okay. So, media is also a very integral part of the society, and especially the Gen Z community that we see today, right? Media is also, following the trends and culture, the pop culture, as you mentioned. So, first of all, you need to examine the storyline and themes that you're working upon as a media. What type of character portrayal are you doing into the movies? If we talk about the Bollywood,
Yeah,
then what type of representation of women community are you doing? Then
that's
with the growing generation, media has a very quintessential role to play into how our generation today perceive things.
exactly. And as you said about the younger generation and Gen Z, it's all about internet, right? So, like
Yes.
people over the internet refer to the term now as female toxicity. Oh, she is very toxic, like various senses during conversations. So, how much do online platform contribute to the spread of pseudo feminist ideas, according to you?
So, today when we talk about internet, we talk about social media. There is this. there is one person who creates a narrative, and then everybody is, following that narrative. So online platform are actually disseminating misinformation about feminism, which is leading to misinterpretations and misunderstanding of what the concept actually stands for, and due to which social media is actually trolling women, and leading to very misogynistic behavior. And because not every female, as they say, and not every male could be, put into a jar that all
Yeah.
women are toxic, or say all
Not
males are
everyone is
toxic.
slave, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we need to, as a generation, we need to, I think, raise voice in that regard, that this hostile environment that you are actually creating is discouraging meaningful dialogues or conversations that you can hold. So one way you're saying that we need to promote women, we need to talk about feminism and pseudo feminism, as they say, and
Hmm.
on the other place you are leading towards misogynistic thoughts and attitude towards women. So this is what we call hypocrisy.
And understanding of feminist principles. So, how can we promote better feminist education and awareness to combat this killing pseudo feminism, which is like going around like crazy?
So let us start with the very basics. So if you imbibe the concept of feminism, or say feminist theories, into the curriculum from the very primary level of education, then I think it will create a very huge impact into our community. Why? Because from the very younger age, students would know these principles, they'll understand, and their perspectives will develop in that manner. So I think inclusivity of and integration of gender studies from the very basics is something that is very important. And I think this will play a very huge role. And secondly, you need to host workshops and training programs. So reports say that post COVID, there is a lot more awareness about concepts, various concepts such as, say, feminism. Why? Because people were out there at home, and they were just using phones and everything and internet. So there were a lot of workshops, webinars, online things that they were attending. And this is how you can, create awareness. You can target communities, and then you can create awareness. So
There's
yeah.
so much of information only that people are like fearing themselves to be called as a feminist. Oh, I am not a feminist. That is working better for them. It's all just cause of information, as you said.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm. Thank you, ma'am, for such a stupendous comprehension of yours. It would benefit a lot of people. I'm really sure about it. So now, like proceeding forward, we have a small session planned where we will like give our guest on our podcast five alphabets basically. So what you have to do is like you can say any sentence or word relating to that alphabet, whichever comes to into your mind. Like it's a rapid fire kind of a situation, I would say. So
That is
shall
so
we start?
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I hope you would enjoy that.
Likewise. Yes, definitely. So excited.
So your first letter would be P.
So, talking about pseudo feminism only, I think we need to, as a community, we need to amplify our voices. We need to call out any false narrative that has been built into the society, and and let's spread positivity with feminism as a concept, and let us appreciate the very idea that with which feminism as a concept was built in.
This is so much required. Like seriously. The
Yes.
second the second word be would be S.
Okay. So, I think we need to scrutinize, and government organizations should come together, and we should scrutinize and such communities and such people who are actually spreading misinformation and misleading concepts. Because today we are having this conversation because of the misinterpretation or misunderstanding that people have of a concept. So let us make sure that this is not repeating in future. So I think governments need to scrutinize this.
Yeah. Another would be A.
Okay. So I think awakening. So as a generation, we should awaken ourselves uh, with with whatever is real, whatever is truthful, right? There's so much of hate out there. There's so much of toxicity that we see into our lives also sometimes, and I think we need to enhance our awakening, and we just need to think right.
Yeah. And as Devanshi goes for D, the next would be D for sure.
So, I think, first of all, displaying ourselves as true individuals, okay? Just be yourself, okay? Sometimes what happens is that we are running after peers, whatever our friend circle, groups are saying, just to, sound more relevant to them. We are displaying ourselves as pseudo people. So I think we need to be very honest, very truthful to ourselves and to people out there. So I think just display your true self.
Yeah. It would be F, your final word.
Okay, so finally, I would just say that it was really nice that we are today sitting and having conversation into this regard. I have always been onto that side taking interviews of people, but today I got an opportunity to, share my opinions, my thoughts. So I think I hope that whenever it reaches out to public in general, people understand this concept and they use this podcast as a medium to just go back to the basic and understand this concept in general, and just move towards a society wherein there's inclusivity and wherein we are talking about something which is relevant, which is not false, which is entirely truthful. So that's all.
This podcast would definitely be helpful for a lot of people. I can bet on that. It was indeed an insightful and informative session, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Prashansha and Manya. I think you
So much
coordinated
for
it
sparing
really
the time.
well.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
sparing
you.
time
Thank you
with
so
us.
much.
And Canonsphere is
Bye.
always grateful for your invaluable presence.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I've been following this platform, and I think it is creating a really huge impact into the community. And all the best to the team members and everybody who's associated to Canon Sphere for all the milestones that they'll achieve in the future.